understand what you're saying. No.
There it is.
Let's hear it.
Well, let's hear it.
Talk to us.
Beadle and Decker, taking on sports talk like no one else. Michelle Beadle,
I'm just helping. I'm helping America one by one.
Cody Decker.
I 100% believe in revenge. Revenge is a great thing.
Back to the sports.
Back and ready for more.
Every time I tune them out, they pull me back in.
It's Beadle and Decker. Here's Michelle and Cody.
Hello, everybody. It is an incredible Thursday afternoon, and that's right. You are watching or listening or just viewing or ingesting or taking in the greatest show that's ever existed in the history of mankind. And that, of course, is Beadle and Decker. I'm your host, Cody Decker. And, of course, no Michelle Beadle today. She'll be back on Monday. And, of course, it's a Thursday. What happens on Thursdays? Well, those of you that know, that are really in the know, you kind of get it. You know who I'm bringing in. The one, the only, the most... I'm sorry, I'm not going to say most jacked guy in the industry. I'm going to say second most jacked man this industry has ever seen, ever, behind, of course, yours truly. He is the one, the only, Keith Irizarry. Keith, you look fantastic. A mild V-neck today. Well, how you feeling, my guy over there on the East Coast? Keith's voice. I don't hear it. Keith, talk again, buddy. Every single time, my guy. So do me a favor. It's my fault, not yours. Could you sign out and sign right back into the same link? And we will hear your very, very sexy and soothing tones. And until then, I'm going to give everyone an incredible breakdown on exactly what we're going to be talking about today. We have the NBA getting ready to rock out its playoffs. Yes, we got quick hitters with a lot of things to cover. Yes, Daddy is seeing Bruce Springsteen tonight over there at the Great Western Forum. And yes, I still call it the Great Western Forum. I refuse to call it the Kia Forum. I do not acknowledge the Kia Forum, just the same way I don't acknowledge Crypto.com Arena. That bitch is Staples, will be Staples until the end of time. But let's get him in here. He's here. He's jacked. He's handsome. Keith Irizarry. Yeah, I am.
About this opening. So I would agree that you are in amazing shape. What I would like to throw my name in the hat for would be the Jack non-former professional athletes that are doing sports talk radio and sports talk television. Like, I think that's a conversation I could be a part of. Right?
No, I'm not a part of. You're at the very tippy top of the list. I mean, I've been around a lot of people in this industry, people that have played sports, people that have not played sports. Some are in great shape, some are not in great shape. I can unequivocally say that of the men and women in this industry, the most in shape person I know is Keith Irizarry. It is true. And I've asked around, you got like 20 abs, bro. It is.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. So I would say this, I will give maybe a nod, or at least same level. Scott Braun used to be at MLB Network. And now he's on
foul territory. Scott's always been in good shape. Yeah, Scott ain't afraid to go to a rave shirtless and definitely post the living shit about it. Yeah, Scott's in great shape.
Yeah. So I worked with Scott a bunch back in the day when I first started over at MLB Network. Great guy. I would throw him on the list as well. But if we're going to talk about like being in good shape, that's fine, whatever. Can you let everyone know, like, look at the tan I got going on right now. I just had 5 days in Miami with the family. It was wonderful. And it was total relaxation, laying out on the beach, floating in the pool, catching waves, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I have a glow about me.
You do have a glow about you. You were over there in Miami, and you definitely sent me a photo. You're like, are you jealous? And then I sent you a photo of the pool literally to my left. I'm like, yeah.
Whoa. Tell the whole story. You asked me something. I said I was in Miami. You wrote jealous, and I wrote you should be. And then you took it as, no, I'm going to show him I'm not. You wrote the word jealous. I would not have said that. You're out there in California. It is gorgeous in California. I love California. I'm on the East Coast. I'm an East Coast dude. This is where I live. This is my home. Family's here, all that kind of stuff. But yes, I do love California.
It is elite out here. I can't stress it enough. I just absolutely love it. Yes, is it expensive? Funny enough, though, like everyone's like, "Oh man, California is so expensive," and it is. Make no mistake. Living in Los Angeles, it's an expensive place to live. It's an expensive place to rent. The gas prices are extremely high here. It is extremely expensive out here. It ain't as expensive as New York City. I know that because I've been living in New York City the last 4 years. Dude, New York City is a different level of expensive.
And that's the thing. I mean, any big city you go to, it's going to be expensive.
Yes,
if you live in a quote unquote smaller city, it won't be as expensive. What are gas prices in California now?
It just depends where you are. There's some places where it's $4.50, other places where it's like $6.50. Like it just depends on where you go. Like I drive a plug-in hybrid. So like me, I don't really go further than, there's a beach town called Hermosa Beach. It's where my girlfriend lives. So I go down to Hermosa Beach often, and I'm up here in Santa Monica often. And I basically one full charge of my car gets me that mileage to go there, and I just recharge it again. I barely use gas. In California, a plug-in hybrid, provided your commute is not an hour or two a day,
right,
like the most elite thing you can do out here, unless you're just an electric car guy. But me, I'm not willing to take that plunge. I still want to drive out to the desert every once in a while, and I like having a gas tank.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, for us on the New York gas scene, it's like $3.89 in that area, so it's not terrible. It was actually more expensive down in Florida. They were in the $4s like California.
Oh, and by the way, this is actually funny because Joanna in Arizona just said, I left California because too many natural disasters. That is very fair. There are a lot of natural disasters out here. Obviously, most recently, everybody's been very, very paying attention to all the fires that are out here. But I have to always remind people, it's like, oh, you guys thought that fire was an outlier. It was an outlier in that it hit certain towns that never been hit, like the Palisades.
Right.
That being said, we get these big fires once every 3-4 years, and they are a bit brutal. And this last one, make no mistake, it's probably the worst one in my lifetime. And of course, we also occasionally get our hands on a bad earthquake. There haven't really been as many bad earthquakes since, funny enough, my birthday in 1994, January 17th, the Northridge earthquake that shut down the city. Only happened to us over Santa Monica. Our chimney fell after that earthquake. So I'll admit the natural disasters out here can be very problematic. The traffic out here, because it's such a driving city, can be problematic. But, dude, you just can't beat the weather, man. It is just that nice here. And I'll admit that. Are there ups and downs? Yes. But, dude, do I love it? You bet I do. And by the way,
let me ask you, all right, so you being a California guy, and then you spending, it was 3 years in New York?
3.5 years. 3.5 years in New York. Yeah.
Like, what did you feel like mood wise for seasons, right? Because like in California, and I know like if you go up to San Francisco, like you can get snow and it can get really cold. Like I know there's certain areas, but like let's just say you're an LA dude, so you don't really have a real winter. Like your cold is 40 something degrees. Like if it's like, oh my God, it got so cold, right? So you don't get snow, all that kind of stuff. Did you like the seasons, like even for your mood?
That's actually a good question. So I got to know seasons when I was playing professional baseball, obviously for those years, because I wasn't living in LA during those times. So I would start a year in the Eastern League, like I had to start one season for the Mets in Double A. I really had to wear it. I was in Binghamton, New York for 3 weeks.
Was that the Rumble Ponies or not the Rumble Ponies?
First year of the Rumble Ponies. Okay. It was the longest 3.5 weeks of my life. Keith Irizarry. I've nothing to do in this horrible town. Just a gross place. If you live there, you're not mad at me. You agree with every word I just said. It's an interesting place. Freezing. I played in Portland, Maine. Freezing, obviously. But in LA, but when I went to New York, you're living in those elements full time. I liked it the first year. But I have to admit, on Christmas Day, my first year being out there, I looked at my Apple Watch, and the number 0 was on my watch for the temperature outside. And that was a frighteningly inaccurate estimation of the temperature, because the wind was also at like 30 miles per hour. So really, it was like -30 out there. It was a nightmare. I'll never forget this. I was into the snow when it first happened. I'm like, oh, look at this, a white Christmas, what all you people have been talking about. And then day 2 comes around, Keith Irizarry. And in New York City, day 2 of snow is hell. A frightening, hellish winterscape that you cannot escape, because that snow is no longer snow. No. That snow is now sludge, a horrible, dirty, ratty sludge that you cannot get away from. Also, the hand railings are below zero. Like there's no escaping. I bought hand warmers. I'm rocking gloves. I look like the kid star from A Christmas Story every time I left. F that noise, bro. No. I was so happy to wear shorts on Christmas Eve this year.
I found it funny to watch from afar for you. And again, you and I have known each other for years now. And on social media, like you have a really good social media presence, right?
Aww.
I think you've done a really good job of letting people into your life, with your pets and like your job, like everything, right? So first year, if anybody's tuning in right now, maybe you haven't followed Cody for that many years on social media. We just started, like 2 years ago with the Beadle and Decker show on the radio, and now with this, right? So that first year when Cody was in New York, when like the amount of videos, I'm riding a bike and I'm walking my dog and like whatever, like I'm gonna go get coffee and the cold won't stop me. # New York, # love life, like all that kind of stuff, right? That was the whole first year, whether it was winter, it was fall, pumpkin brew, whatever, right? Like yes,
every idiosyncrasy that existed. Loved it.
Year 2. By the way, you could tell that I'm a baseball player. Year 2, slowly but surely, a lot of that wasn't there. Like it's snowing. That's it. There would be like a picture of snow. Year 3, I think I wasn't sure if he got banned from social media. I wasn't positive. Yeah.
Michelle made it so much worse in a good way and a bad way, because like Michelle is no longer in New York City at that point. She's in LA, like full time doing the FanDuel show. And I'm still in New York City. And we're like doing a show on like December 3rd. She's like, how's the weather? I'm like, I want to hang myself. How are you? She's like, oh, I just walked on the beach for the last hour. I'm like, I want to go home. I want to go home. That being said, Keith, I also want to say this about Los Angeles. There is one cheat code out here. If you are somebody like that desperately misses seasons, LA is a very unique spot, because all in the span of one day, you can go surfing at the beach. You can drive 2.5 hours to Big Bear and be in the snow. And you can drive another 3 hours later in the day to be like in the forest. Like you can get every season in one day here if you put in the work.
So if you wanted to, like if you had to tell someone the perfect place in California to live, let's make it an East Coast human being.
Okay.
Used to like me. Let's make it me. Mm-hmm. I was born in the Bronx, and then I grew up mostly on Long Island, New York, and in and out of like New York City, Long Island area for the better part of my adult life, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I was moving to California.
Okay.
And I still want to feel a little bit of my home. Where would I want to be?
Okay. So do you want it to feel like Long Island, or you want it to feel like Brooklyn?
Long Island.
Long Island?
I want like suburbs. I want to be able to walk a pet. I want to be able to like have a pool, whatever. Yes.
You know, believe it or not, I'm going to give you an area that might surprise you. It's a little more inland. It's not inland like bad inland. Pasadena might actually be your absolute jam, because Pasadena is a beautiful area. Roll out there, houses, a lot of walkable. Pasadena's also beautiful. Pasadena is like,
yes,
like 15 miles from downtown LA, yet you feel plenty removed like from Los Angeles, and it's not that hard of a drive into Los Angeles. So if I were to say Long Island, you're looking for that type of Pasadena, Altadena, those are all the Dinas.
Okay. I would have put you, if you, let's say when you were in New York, you didn't always have to be in the city for your job. Let's say you were doing this remotely. Mm-hmm. I would have put you in Long Beach on Long Island.
Okay.
Right off the water, a lot of nice restaurants, like a good bar scene. Like, so like it's youthful, but then there are the people that are in our age range that will be hanging out there as well. You're all, like I said, you're off the water, and you're not a terrible ride into Manhattan. It's probably about a 45-minute train ride. Like it's not the worst. That's where I would have put you.
By the way, I have to call somebody out. Tavia, what are you? Thousand Oaks. I would never send somebody to Thousand Oaks. That's cruelty. And also Joanna threw in the Valley. I lived in the Valley. I don't wish that on my biggest enemies. No.
Thousand Oaks sounds like it's hoity-toity. Sounds like it's got money.
Thousand Oaks is deep valley. Like we're talking getting towards like Ventura. Now, if you go a little further towards like Ventura, now we can talk about Ventura. But the Thousand Oaks, no, it's like the deserty area. And by the way, just for the record, I want to make this abundantly clear. Those early years in New York when I posted, I just went through a divorce. I was a single man in New York City. I had to throw out the bicycles.
I mean, yeah, I fully get that as well. I understand. Again, you and I knew each other. Like, I get it. I wasn't just, your social media presence was funny that first year in New York because you were how many times did you post about the Broadway shows?
Specifically, to answer that question, that never stopped. I posted 55 times about Broadway shows. Why? Because I saw 55 Broadway shows. True,
and even like your mom would come in, like those were the cool ones when you would post like "Mama's in" and you would with pictures with her. Like that was great stuff. Yes, no, you're a good son.
I apologize to everyone that's saying that our audio is a little choppy. Bear with us. I'm sure it'll pop right back in. But here's the deal: we do have sports to actually talk about. I know. I can't believe it either, but we do occasionally cover them. Keith Irizarry, can you do me a favor? Because we're coming to the very end of the NBA season. Could you tell me, like, what's going on around the NBA? Can you do me a quick little breakdown on, is there a way for me to be excited about my Lakers, considering the fact that they are seemingly dead? And there's no way they can come back?
No, the Lakers are not dead. All right, so first and foremost, I don't know if you read Luka Doncic is considering going over to Europe to
I saw that.
Like other treatments. I don't know if you remember when Kobe did that. Like Kobe went over to Europe and then came back and he was like Superman. So that's perfectly fine. I love that people are calling you a West Side snob. That's hilarious.
I
am. Good job. Everything about Cody screams out snob. But all right, so look at the way he drinks his. I don't even know what's in there. Is that tea?
This is coffee. I'm going straight coffee.
Why don't you point your pinky out while you're doing it too? All right. Yes, you're so highbrow.
Daddy is scared.
The reason, all right. So I would say that I would caution you to buy in on the Lakers because of the Reeves and the Luka injuries, but it's still a really good matchup if they get the Rockets in the 4-5. Very winnable. I think they can win that first round. And if we're being brutally honest, 2 weeks ago when they had Luka and Austin Reeves in the lineup, when you and I were talking about this, that was kind of what we felt like was going to be the ceiling for them too. And then hopefully they'd be able to maybe put a scare in the Thunder or the Spurs, whoever they would get in that semifinal game. I think you're still pretty much in the same spot. I will throw this out as well. And I don't want to have the Jordan LeBron conversation. I'm not doing this for that reason. Okay. But let's do the if game. If the Lakers were to beat the Rockets in the opening round, if the Lakers were to be able to get to the Western Conference Finals and lose to, at that point, it would be the Spurs because they would have to play the Thunder in the second round, right? Let's say that happened. I'm throwing the if game out. And let's say that Luka is not playing in the first round and Reeves is not playing in the first round. How can you argue against LeBron as the greatest? Again, you have to start doing if you're going to do the LeBron Jordan argument, which I know a lot of people think it's overplayed and other people think I want to do this every single minute of every single day. Part of the argument always is that Jordan was 6-0 in the NBA Finals, but the LeBron thing is always going to be, what did he do that Jordan didn't do? And it's the longevity part that's being added to this. And it's going to be the increasingly high numbers of what he's doing in his 40s that Jordan either would not have been able to do or did not do. So if LeBron was able to carry this Lakers roster without Doncic and without Reeves past the opening round, it's just another feather in the cap of LeBron. So I'll throw that out there. I'll let you react to that, and then I'll give you a little bit more to be excited about the Western Conference.
No, I would actually listen. I know how annoying the LeBron v. It's one of these. Just we deal with it all the time. It's slow news day. Well, LeBron v. Jordan, go. But there is validity to this because I agree with you. The fact that he has dragged certain teams that were far lesser into playoff situations, that he's dragged teams all the way to the finals, that if he were to single-handedly keep this team in the playoffs past the Rockets with enough time to kind of get back a Luka and an Austin Reeves, it's really hard for me not to argue against it. Listen, I'll freely admit I never loved the LeBron Laker. I'm going to go as far as calling it an experiment, but there have been highs, there have been lows. I'm not going to sit here and pretend this team was great before LeBron got here. Before LeBron got here, this team was an absolute disaster towards that post-Kobe era. So the fact that he actually got them to a semblance of not just playoffs, but actually got them a championship, whatever you want to say about the bubble championship, yada, yada, yada. Everyone was in it. LeBron was the one that was standing on top at the end. It's hard not to say that he is maybe the greatest of all time, just with this one thing alone. That being said, you know, I grew up in the 90s, man. I can never go against Jordan.
Yeah, hard for me to go against Jordan, too. Just bring that up for a second. All right, now let's get back to why we can be excited. Lakers fans, sorry, maybe you're not the one, but if you want to be excited about the Western Conference, so we could talk Eastern Conference as well, but the Western Conference, so the Thunder clinched the best record in the NBA for a second consecutive year, the number one seed in the Western Conference for a third consecutive year, and they've done this mostly with J-Dub struggling, coming back from injury. Imagine if he really gets into the swing of things. He could play. Chet Holmgren's been an all-star. He's been great. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander probably going to end up being the MVP again. They're awesome. The San Antonio Spurs have gone 29-3 over their last 32 games.
I know.
Like, this is sick watching them play, and I'm sure Michelle is very excited
Oh,
about
dude,
that.
she is so jazzed up about it. It's crazy. And you know what? Can I also say what's frustrating about the fact that the Spurs did this in the last, 35 days? Or games, I should say. It's because the Lakers went on such a heater in March. Such a heater. Lost 2-3 games in the entire month, just crushed everybody. And as much as I wanted to sit around and celebrate that, what a month. The Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder did the exact same thing above them. So it just poured cold water all over it for me because I still look at the West like it's a two-team race.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. Now, I think the team that could crash this is a healthy Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets have now won 10 games in a row. They are as healthy as they've been all season long. Jokic is starting to look like himself again. He's averaging a triple-double, doing all these things. But he had his 34th or 35th triple-double of the season yesterday. Like that, I mean, the dude is just ridiculous. Now, they don't get an easy matchup if they're in the 3 versus the 6 in Minnesota, but now the Timberwolves are a weird team too because Anthony Edwards has been missing in action as well, missing 10 of his last 12 games because of the sore knee. I don't know what that'll do. I feel like this is more of them just kind of slow playing, getting him healthy for the playoffs. I don't know. I think the Western Conference, when you look, the top 6 is sick. Like, I just think that this Western Conference, anybody in the top 6 in theory could represent the West. And that's also us saying that the Thunder and the Spurs are clearly the best 2 teams in the NBA right now. Oh, wait, the Boston Celtics would like to have a conversation with you from the East Coast. Oh, wait. The Detroit Pistons got Cade Cunningham back last night. 13 points, 10 assists. They'd like to have a conversation. Yeah. The New York Knicks will still like to have a conversation with you as well. I'm just saying, this NBA playoffs, I think we have a chance to have maybe the best NBA playoffs we've seen in years. I'm not sure if we're getting the upsets. I think this may end up being a little bit like, almost like the women's March Madness, and really the men's too. I think it might be very chalky. I think we might end up with a lot of top seeds at the end. 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s and all that kind of stuff in the semifinals and in the finals. And I'm here for it. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
So am I. It's like that conversation we were having a week ago when we're sitting around talking about the NCAA. It's like, oh man, too many 1 and 2 seeds. Whatever happened to Cinderella? I finally have come full circle on this. It's taken me a long time because I used to be that guy. I used to puff my chest out talking about Cinderella. I love Cinderella. I love the underdog story. And as much as I want to pretend that we all love the underdog story because we go to a movie, go to a sports movie, what's the story? It's always about an underdog team. It's never about a dominant team because how do you really go to a movie and just root for a dominant team? What's the actual story? What's the thing to overcome? But then we get into a NFL playoffs where there's no bad guy and nobody to root against. And all of a sudden we end up with the most boring damn Super Bowl that I've ever watched. And now same thing over there. It's like, imagine if we had like 2 Cinderellas at the end of March Madness and not any of the Blue Bloods. Are we really pretending that the ratings would go up? We know the ratings would shoot right down.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, think about it this way. We ended up with Arizona and Michigan on the one side and the Illinois versus UConn. But as big of a school as Illinois is, a lot of just casual sports fans don't think about how great they are as a basketball program.
Mm-hmm.
So if we would have gotten like Illinois versus even Gonzaga, people would be like, okay.
Yeah.
What is Jeet saying? Jeet saying everybody start telling Harden goodbye?
Yeah, say goodbye to Harden because the playoffs are getting ready to start. So that's when he kind of likes to go away. So
that's not nice.
So where's the lie?
It's not nice.
Oh, I agree with that. It's definitely not nice. All right, man. Let's get away from this for a second, but kind of stay on the similar topic. Let's get over to quick hitters because we've got a good amount of little different things in today's quick hitters. Now, I don't believe this is the end of an era. I don't believe this is the last time we're going to see it, but we do got Lakers. We do got the city. It's Steph and LeBron. Yeah. I know it's not the last time we're going to see it, but what do you got on this game tonight?
Pretty fun here. So the Warriors are actually 4.5-point favorites, which surprised me a little bit. I thought it would have been probably about, pretty much a toss-up here. 1.5 would have been my pick there. All right, so LeBron James over his career against Steph, he has been sick. 30.7 points per game, 10 boards, almost 8 assists per game, gives you almost a steal and a half per game, gives you more than a block per game. So I will take his over on points LeBron. Different books have different numbers here. I've seen anywhere from 23.5 to 25.5. So shop your books and make sure you get the best odds you can. I would like 24.5. That's my favorite number. I'll take the over 24.5 for LeBron James against Steph Curry. You could have some fun with the parlays here. I think DraftKings was doing one that was like an over, I think it was Steph over 20 or more, LeBron 20 or more, and then there was like assists were mixed in there too, and then you'd like pick a winner. Like there's ways to have more fun with it. But again, if you're brand new to betting, parlays, they're sucker bets. Typically, they don't work for you. It's the book just trying to get you, I get better odds with this. Let me do that. You're going to end up missing one leg and you're going to cry about it. And that's usually what happens.
And that's when you start falling into DMs of players for ruining said parlays, which I still hate so very, very.
Yeah,
very
I think people who do that should like be forced to go run on broken glass.
I think that's a great idea, or at least like hot coals or something. Or they have to work at like, I don't know, the worst like a Chili's in Binghamton, New York. Just like you got to work in the service industry in a very, very unfriendly town. All right, next question for you. And this is interesting. I read this report today. This is apparently real. Reports from the University of Leeds suggest that women in their 40s and above have actually found a new hobby. And apparently that hobby for women in their 40s and above has been attending raves to help stabilize their mental health. Two questions.
Like dance raves?
Like a dance rave.
Like glow sticks?
Like stuff? Straight up glow sticks, jumping in the air, Steve Aoki up there doing all his things, throwing cakes at them, all of that.
Okay.
My question for you is very simple. One, have you ever been to a rave? And two, what do you do to stabilize your mental health, Keith Irizarry?
Never been to an actual rave. I mean, I went to clubs and bars and stuff when I was younger, but never been to an actual rave. So that would be that. Mental health for me, I mean, it's probably very similar to you. It's lifting weights. It's doing something active. I remember during the pandemic, a lot of people like struggling with a lot of mental health issues. And for me, it was, I had to figure out when gyms were closed, how to still be able to be active. So bike riding with the family was a big thing. And then I slowly but surely just buying gym equipment for my basement and then turning the basement into a full out gym. And that's it. So I would say that. I would also say that, and I don't want to sound like, like a yoga person per se. I think having moments of quiet are really important. Now, people say that it's very difficult to kind of turn off your brain. And if you're having some, mental health issues, some people say the quiet is actually the worst for them because that's when they start overthinking about things. For me, the moments of quiet, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there with literally nothing, no television on, put the phone away, maybe sit outside if it's a beautiful day, or maybe sit outside if it's cold out, doesn't matter, right? And just have that couple of moments of deep breath. I think it's that helps me a lot.
It's funny you say that because I had this similar thing where I was just like, as a kid, I was like, oh my God, I hate it when people are doing nothing. Dude, doing nothing is maybe some of my favorite moments of the day. I was always so terrible at just chilling. I'm really good at chilling now. And yes, I work out a ton. Similar thing. I still have all my gym equipment from COVID as well, but it's in storage because I've moved all over the country since then, and I sold my house in Sherman Oaks, so I don't have a house to put my things in right now. But I still have all my gym equipment because I will never be in that position that we were all in during COVID ever again. If something happens again, I'm making a makeshift gym in this studio. I have the equipment. I will build a rack right over there if I have to.
Yeah, the amount of push-up challenges I was doing during the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
People posting, hey, can you do 10 in this? Can you do, let's do clapping, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but everybody agrees. Everybody seems to love doing nothing that helps their mental health. Okay, this is an interesting one because you're East Coast, I'm West Coast, and I know we're going to have different answers because syndications and all this, but we both have done a lot of radio over the years. We both worked at many, many places in radio. My question for you is very simple, Keith Irizarry. What is your favorite radio show of all time?
All right. So let me answer this a few different ways.
Of course.
I think the most influential radio show of my lifetime is Mike and the Mad Dog. I wouldn't necessarily say it's my favorite, but it's the most influential. Me growing up on the East Coast, it was the one that you could turning on WFAN and listening to all the shows. But Mike and the Mad Dog was the first real hit radio show. So I would say that one. I would say a current one that's on the air is Sharp Money. It's on Mad Dog Radio and also on VSIN Radio with Patrick Maher.
I love Patrick Maher. Great dude.
Yeah. For my money, I think that Patrick Maher might be the best sports talk radio host in the world. Okay.
Wow.
So there's just something that is so casual about the way he handles sports talk radio. You legitimately, and I truly believe this. I think that when you listen to sports talk radio, and it's one of the reasons why I don't say Mike and the Mad Dog are my favorite one. Mm-hmm. I think that you want to listen and feel like you're listening to a buddy and that they're talking to you and not at you. I think there's a big distinction between to and at you. And I think Patrick Maher does a fantastic job of that. I've actually told him he's been on shows of mine. I've been on shows of his. I love the guy. I think I've told him, I think he is flawless. And he was like, dude, I don't think so. No, you're amazing. And then I'll give you one last one. Praise. Yeah. And I'll give you one last one. I would go Calling the Shots with Keith Irizarry when it was on NBC Sports Radio.
I get it. By the way, a few people want to point out, we do not listen to Mad Dog Radio here, Keith, but that's not you. That's everyone else that's listening right now.
So, yes, but I know what happened. I get all of that.
Yep.
I really like Patrick Maher. So
I like Patrick Maher too, by the way.
When I'm in the car heading to SNY, because I do an 11 p.m. show, and I'll get in the car anywhere between 7 and 8:15 p.m. my time on the East Coast. Patty's on the air at that time, and he's the guy I listen to. So
I get it. So me on a different side, I grew up on the West Coast, obviously, Santa Monica, California, Los Angeles. And when I grew up, specifically, I'm going to cite the 90s. The radio landscape out here was insane. And I do mean insane. You turn the dial to another channel and it's not like a radio Hall of Famer. It was like a radio Hall of Famer, heavyweight type of thing. You go to KLOS, you had Mark and Brian, which, by the way, for me, Mark and Brian is my favorite radio show of
What's
all time.
Mark's last name again?
Mark Thompson. They're both in the radio Hall.
I know him. Yes. Yeah.
So Mark and Brian was a huge show in the 80s and 90s. Until Howard Stern came out here and, had an actual beheading funeral for Mark and Brian out here, as Howard Stern did in every place. So you had Howard Stern on KLSX, you had Mark and Brian on KLOS, you had K-Rock, you had Kevin and Bean, you had Power 106, you had Big Boy. Big Boy was starring in movies back in the 90s, if you remember. Kiss FM, you had Rick Dees. So it was just everywhere you went, it was like a crazy radio Hall of Famer. But me, I grew up on Mark and Brian. They were just my jam. I honestly think anything that I ever learned in humor or in comedy, I really kind of learned from them.
I didn't realize we were going to deviate from sports. I thought we were only doing sports talk radio shows.
Well, here's the thing. In LA, there was no sports talk radio. Like that, I always thought that a sports talk radio for a long time was a very uniquely East Coast thing until it started kind of making its way all the way out towards the West Coast. That being said, no one out here, I can tell you, liked Mike and the Mad Dog, because I would hear them and I would just think it was pure nonsense because they don't know anything.
I mean, it's not that, no. See, I'll disagree with you that it's not that they don't know things. I think it's the yelling and the screaming at each other can grate people sometimes. Mm-hmm. And for Francesa, like when I talk about the talking to and at, he talks at, not to. Mm-hmm. That's always been his way. If I could throw in a show that's not sports related, then I'll go to Shade 45 and Lord Sear, who just passed away, and Rude Jude. That show was like the hip hop version of what you were seeing with Howard. Like, I mean, like he was doing, the two of them were doing a lot of that. They were having freestyle battle things going on. They were doing things that were like a little bit risque as well. Like there was some things on there that like you wouldn't listen to if you were young. I thought they did a fantastic job. That was a really cool show back in the day. I think well, obviously Lord Sear just passed away, but I'm pretty sure that Rude Jude is still on Shade 45. I don't listen as much anymore.
I'm going to bring this up, but I want to touch on it very briefly because this is something that I really hate about our industry. And it's something that is, who are we kidding? You turn on social media right now, and if you're a sports fan, you kind of can't avoid it. And in fact, when we opened the show, our chat had like 19 comments about it. And this is the current controversy going on between Diana Russini, who is a very good friend of this show, and Mike Vrabel. And I don't want to necessarily get into the details of it because when it comes down to these type of things, this is not really my business. This is personal stuff. And by the way, I don't even know what to believe based on the photos that were put out there. It is all very unique. What I don't like more than anything, Keith, is how it's being kind of handled by a lot of people in the industry. A lot of people it seems very one-sided, to say the least. If the worst case scenario is the worst case scenario, wouldn't it be more fair or at least understandable that both of these people should be taking the brunt of the blame, as opposed to what I'm mostly seeing is an outrageous amount of Diana Russini comments? So
my follow-up to your setup would be a question. Okay. Just simply, here's my question.
And I think I know where the question's going to be, and it would be a fair question.
If this is true, like if any of semblance is this true, in theory, what has Diana Russini done wrong?
In theory, technically, as far as I can tell, nothing.
So why do we care?
I completely agree. My issue is not necessarily. Is it just
the optics of it? Like the optics.
I think it's just the optics of it. I've seen some takes that Keith, I'm like baffled by. Like people going like, well, this could be like insider trading and information. What do you think journalists do? They get inside information. I mean, I don't want to suggest how one gets insider information. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just how this is being handled by certain members of the press has been very eye-opening to me, because it's inherently, just for lack of a better phrase, really sexist is how it's being handled.
I also think, all right, so you know Diana Russini a little bit, right?
Yes.
I don't. Okay, like I've never worked with her or anything. I think that like people seem to not love her in the industry. Mm-hmm. Like I don't have a problem with her. I think she does a really good job. I feel like she rubs people the wrong way. The Brett Favre stuff, I think, not Brett Favre, the Aaron Rodgers stuff seemed like she rubbed people a little bit the wrong way for that stuff. When talked about her impending divorce, and there was the thing about her, she was talking about her husband as
I'll admit I'll admit that I don't dig that. That's not something that I get that. Like, those things I agree with. Like, those suck.
Right. And I think that when if you put yourself out there and allow yourself to not be endeared by people, all it is like you're looking for a misstep. Actually, make a comparison to LeBron James, right? Like when you're great like LeBron, people are looking for a reason to knock you down a peg,
Always.
right? So like someone like Diana Rossini, who's been towards the top of the game in NFL reporting for many years, right? You know, I think that if there can be a way that people can chop her down, that's what they're looking for. And you can do what you want, even though I know that you're not going to. Like, I'm not that person. Like, none of this is really my business. Not like I don't like Vrabel and her. If there is something cool, if there isn't something cool, I don't care. What I care about is Diana Rossini's reporting, you know, factual and good. Like, if I go on her Twitter and I want to find information about, you know, a free agent and she posts it, is it trustworthy? Like, because we know other reporters, especially in the baseball world, there's one singular name. You don't need to say it on the air because I don't like to be disparaging, but there's one singular name that everyone always makes fun of because that person seemingly is always wrong, right? Like, so as long as you don't, like, if you're not that, then if you're doing your job, I don't really care.
Yep. I agree with every sentiment. And that's the other thing that I always want. And I think part of this is also just kind of where the sports media landscape is, because we are now in full on opinion mode in this industry. It's that's not what Diana Rossini does. Diana Rossini is not a part of the conversation portion. She's a journalist reporting what she can tell, as far as she can tell, are facts or upcoming facts, as opposed to going in the full opinion route, which, by the way, is every show that's on ESPN, FS1. And by the way, I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but that's just what the industry currently is. So watching those said talking heads in all these places, radio, TV, where it's so opinion-based, kind of just jump on the bandwagon of, well, Diana Rossini losing all credibility. I don't know what to say other than it kind of just irks the living hell out of me, dude. I don't like how this is being done, because if you're going to give her all the shit, save some of that shit for Vrabel, because he's doing just and again, that's if any of this is actually taking place. Vrabel ain't in the clear. That man is married too. It's really bothering me how it's being done.
The other part of this too is we live in the AI world. I always find it difficult to figure out what's true and what's not.
Also, that is also true.
I mean, I saw a picture posted today of Patrick Mahomes holding hands the same way that
with Cliff
picture,
Collinsworth.
Yes. Like, that was funny, whatever. But like,
I laughed.
That clearly was not a picture that really happened, right? Like, it wasn't. So I don't know. I always find it difficult to try to figure this stuff out. And again, it's like that when the couple got caught for Coldplay, right?
Yes.
Not my business.
It's not my business, dude. It just is not my business.
You never know what people's marriages are, too. You know, that's the other thing, too. People love to judge other people's like marriages and relationships without knowing what they are, like, what them and their partners are agreeing upon. Everyone's got different things going on. Nikki Glaser just did some podcast thing where she was talking about, like, I'm okay if my husband, like, whatever with other people because I like her
thing.
Right? If that's like, that's not for me to judge. Everyone's got their thing, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy. And for us to sit here and throw stones, like, just stop.
I completely agree. I completely agree with everything you're saying. It's just, there's just something inherently sexist with the way it's being handled.
Well, it's very, but that's also the world we live in.
I know, but man, it to me, this is just so frighteningly glaring. That's all. Like, listen, if they're both being jerks, fine, but this just maybe save some of it for Vrabel.
Well, actually, I wonder. All right, so what do you think would be happening right now if there was a male reporter covering the WNBA?
Mm-hmm.
And there were
let's say Shams. Yeah, let's say Shams was hooking up.
Obviously. I was going to say an actual name. Let's not say a name.
Fine. Let's say someone like Shams. Let's say someone like Shams. Not Shams, because he wouldn't do that. Was hooking up with, say, the new head coach for the San Francisco team, the Valkyries. Let's say that's happening.
Okay.
You know what would happen? Not a goddamn thing, Keith Irizarry. Not a damn thing would be happening. You know what? People would be like, great job. Person who is not Shams. That's what they would be doing.
Okay.
I said not Shams. It's a hypothetical situation.
Okay. What's the next topic?
You're the worst. All right. Let's get over to this spot because that's it for quick hitters. Let's get back to Major League Baseball, our favorite thing. And our favorite thing right now, well, my favorite thing right now, it was released today, and this is something kind of interesting. The City Connects, they decided to do something different with the City Connects this year, as opposed to doing like a all year release and one at a time. They decided just to kind of put it all out there in one fell swoop, and we have ourselves 8 new for Major League Baseball. And I got to say, dude, some of these I think are winners. Some of these I think are just what is happening. Some of these feels like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Can we do it like studs or duds?
I was thinking we go one at a time and do a letter grade.
We're taking this to school.
Oh, we're going to school, baby.
I wish I had glasses. I would throw on my teacher glasses right now. I don't have glasses.
So let's go through it. City Connect jersey number 1 for this year of 2026. Now, if you've seen it, this is very similar to their old one, except okay, let's just start with the first one. The Kansas City Royals. What are your thoughts on the Kansas City Connect uniforms, which is more or less a redesign of the last
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all, dude. I really don't. I'm looking at this. I don't understand why they're throwing pink in there. It just seems... It's also just the same jersey as the last City Connect they did, only they have a little pink with the blue. Why?
No, thank you.
Pass.
Hold on. No, hold on. No, thank you.
Yep. By the way,
I come with props.
Yeah, so let's go through it. It says it's the city, including a City of Fountains crest. That's what they're going for. It's the same crest as before, because apparently it is the city. It is the City of Fountains, which I only learned a couple of years ago. But I don't understand the redesign. It's just the same one as before, but with a little pink. So I'm gonna give this a solid D.
I will give it a C-.
C-. That is fair. Let's go on to the next one. The Cincinnati Reds. Well, they're red. They're definitely red.
Oh, I actually like that.
Here's the thing. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
No, that looks like a villain uniform.
I don't hate it.
This looks like I'm coming here and I am going to end your city. No, I like this.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is very similar to their other City Connect uniform.
By the way, I'm very glad that I didn't look at these beforehand. You told me we were going to do this, and I decided I was not going to look at them because I wanted to be surprised. I'm really happy I didn't.
So I kind of like the pinstripe aspect to it. The all red uniforms. They are the Reds. Why not? I kind of like that C logo that they have right there. It's kind of a combination of the wishbone C that they've been rocking forever. And I don't know, man. It seems like where the Kansas City Royals decided to take the same uniform and just kind of double down and kind of make it more boring. I feel like the Reds took their last City Connects, which I thought were a little boring, and kind of just improved them a little, because they do have that Barry Larkin 1990s style to it. I just kind of wish they were cut off sleeves. That's all.
You know what? I'll give it an A- because it has sleeves.
I'm gonna give it a B+ because it has. If it had the cutoff sleeves, man, I'm going straight A. I would say full on A.
Yeah.
All right, this one's interesting. The Baltimore Orioles and their new City Connects. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
I don't like it either. It looks. You know what? It looks. This looks like a uniform that would be worn on like Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah.
Some like softball league that, why am I blanking on the lead character?
In which
Brandon.
Oh, from Brandon Walsh.
Yeah, Brandon Walsh.
Yeah,
Brandon Walsh would be wearing that. He's playing either like varsity baseball or like on a softball team for his dad's law firm or whatever it was. Yeah, I don't like it at all. I'll go with a grade right off the bat on that one. To me, if I gave the other one a C minus, I think this is worse. I'll go D plus on this one.
I'm going to go a D again. I do like that they have the old like Oriole bird above the R. That's at least
I didn't
something. That's it. But again, be more. Yeah, it looks like jerseys that you'd wear at West Beverly High, and Brandon Walsh is the captain of the shitty team. The motif they're going for, and this is the phrase that's even written on the arm patch, which you can't see in this photo, is from the stoop to the yard. I have never equated stoops with Baltimore. I've equated that to New York City.
I mean, I guess it's a city type of thing. If you have any kind of city buildings, you played stoop ball. So,
Okay. Now we're going to get into some, what I think are a little better. Are you ready? I'm just going to tell you right out the gate. A plus, A plus, A plus.
Wow,
this one.
okay.
A plus. Atlanta going old school.
Yeah, I like that.
Bro, I just like it. I just like it.
Yeah. The powder blue is always a nice one. I like the lowercase a on the hat.
Me too.
I think the font on Atlanta is solid. The darker blue pops really well on the number, and even the red and blue stripe down the white pants. I like that as well.
Yeah, dude. I think that, like, is it maybe a tick boring? Is it really bringing anything new to the table? No, but do you need to? It's just, this is just straight up like late 70s. I dig it, dude.
Yeah, I'll go A minus on this one. I don't think it's a perfect uniform. I do think this is the kind of uniform that if you're like if you're an adult, if you're wearing jerseys, this would be a jersey that adults could pull off.
Yeah, I agree. I dig it. It honest. I could. You know what else? I look at that jersey. Can't you see Outkast having like a reunion concert rocking those jerseys? That being said, do you think that, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm moving it to an A minus as opposed to an A. You know why? No, because I'm really disappointed they didn't have the courage to add Magic City anywhere to that jersey.
You can't do that, but okay.
You can absolutely do that.
Absolutely cannot.
Yeah, absolutely. You should. You should.
That becomes an interesting conversation with your kid. Hey, Dad, what's Magic City? Don't worry about it.
It's Magic City. I'll just make something up.
You're not that creative. You'll be like, they have really good wings.
I'm not that creative. And by the way, I would say they have really good wings. And honestly, I would just tell my son or daughter, because boobies, young one, because boobies.
What's the next jersey?
You're the worst. San Diego Padres. Listen, yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. And here's why, because it is kind of playing off the previous City Connect jersey. Instead, they just changed the color scheme to the 90s color scheme, which was the navy, orange, and white. And I don't like the font. Yeah, dude. I just I don't like this one. I really don't like it. I think it's boring as hell. And San Diego should never have boring jerseys.
Something about the font bothers me a little bit. I don't like the way the number looked as well. Like I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't go, oh my goodness, this is the worst ever.
It's not the worst ever, but
I'll go C minus.
I'm gonna go a C. I'm gonna give it a C. But I just I like the hat, but again, it's not doing much for me, man.
Yeah.
All right. I want to show you what I think is my favorite.
Okay.
Is it slightly boring? Yes. Is it a throwback to other things? Yes. But do I look at this jersey and hat and think, that's Pirates, man? Yes. Dude, this is pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie to you. I like this pirate uniform a lot.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I think that would be cool if that were their regular uniform. If that was their everyday uniform.
Mm-hmm.
For a City Connect, it doesn't do that much for me. The hat
is there.
You know what? If I was still rocking hats as much as I used to, that's a hat I would wear that hat. I would rock that backwards. Yeah, I would. Were you a backwards hat guy? Occasionally.
Because honestly, I look better with a forward-facing hat than a backward hat. But you know why I don't wear hats is because I started shaving my head, and I don't want people to think that I'm trying to cover up my head. Daddy's proud of the shaved head.
Yeah, fair enough. I was a total backwards hat guy. Like, even when I was coaching Little League for both of my boys when they were younger. Like, I wore my hat backwards, even while I was coaching. And when my younger son Alex wanted to, he was, you know how you have to do your baseball card picture, right?
Mhm.
When you're a kid, and it was like they made you don't hold your bat like you normally do. You had to hold it down lower so you could see your face or whatever. Alex walks up, I swear to God, 4 years old with his bat, and he turns his hat backwards for the picture. And the woman goes, you can't do that. And I go, he can. I'm the one that's paying for these pictures. He's going to rock those backwards. And she goes, okay. And it's to this day one of my favorite sports pictures either of my children have taken.
Okay. Now after showing you the Pirates,
I never gave you a grade. I'll give me a grade. It's like a B for me.
I'm gonna go A- because I do agree with you that it should just be a normal jersey rather than City Connect, because there's nothing about that that's super City Connecty, but I do think it's a sweet jersey. I'm giving it an A-. It's getting the minus due to lack of creativity towards the city, but it's getting everything else. All right. I have a friend, a very good friend of the show, bartender Chris Shafe the bartender. I asked him, buddy, you're from Madison, Wisconsin. Have you ever heard anyone call anything Wisco? And he just stopped and said, nope, not a thing we say. I hate these. With the exception of the patch on the arm that does have Barrel Man on it. And I do appreciate the idea that they're going for more of a full Wisconsin thing rather than just Milwaukee. I hate these.
Yeah, that's a miss. That's a miss.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to hit you with a. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. I hate it. I don't know what else to say. I
guess Wisco is short for Wisconsin. Like, at least it's spelled the same way. Like, it wasn't like Actually, you know what? I would have liked it better if it said whiskey.
Yes. In fact, by the way, there's a bunch of minor league teams around there that have done like there's a team that has called themselves the Supper Clubbers for a couple of nights of the season. Yes. The Supper Clubbers would have been better. There's another one that's like dive bar, Wisconsin dive bars, like as a special thing. Like, that's even better. I like that they're kind of threw a barbecue somewhere on the jersey, like the old City Connect. But yeah, this one ain't doing anything for me, man.
I would go, just because I don't fail people, I'll go D-.
I'm gonna go D. Because
so you had a better grade than me.
I did, but
wow.
Because are you sure you don't? Are you sure you don't give Fs?
I haven't given any Fs in my classes. Texas
Rangers. I hate this. This looks like a shitty junior college jersey.
I've seen some better high school jerseys.
This is horrid. Like, okay, the old Texas T, I appreciate that. Tejas and just being red with white pipe. Nothing about this works for me.
I don't like it.
I hate it. So I'm going to go ahead and just admit it. That's an F for me. A full F.
I'll go D-.
Man, you're a nicer man than me, dude.
I am. People know
that. Truly don't like those jerseys. Okay, those are our City Connects. They're very interesting, and I hope some of you figure out a way to enjoy it. Before we move on really quickly to Shiggles here, I just want to give a quick little thing. We did get some news about the suspensions that were being placed on Lopez and Jorge Soler. Jorge Soler, of course, immediately appealed. So while he's in the appeal process, can play, and homered in his first at bat yesterday, because of course he did. What were your thoughts on the fight? And tell me, was it Walt Weiss doing this?
I mean, the NFL draft is about 16 days away. Walt Weiss is only in his early 60s. I'm saying, you know what? I'm in New York. You telling me that he can't make some tackles for the New York Jets? Weiss ends up being part of the story. You and I grew up in an era where base brawls happened more often than they do nowadays. Like, now it's really like once a year you'll get a good one. Once every 2 years you get a good one. This was a good one. It was a little bit weird watching Lopez try to punch him with a baseball in his hand.
Oh, you mean this right here?
The ball in his hand and hit.
That's a little weird. When I saw it originally, I thought he was going to throw the ball at him. And that, like, he could have ended up like in prison for that.
I know. I mean, I'm surprised he could end up in prison for this. But here's the thing: Lopez's suspension to this point has actually been reduced to 5 games. Has Solaire's? I have not seen any reporting on Solaire's being reduced as of yet.
I heard it was going to get stuck at. I don't think it's changing.
Interesting. Because again, Soler didn't try to hit anybody in the face with a ball. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll keep you updated as we go along with that. But hey, what do you say before we shut this down? Let's get a little shiggle in. Keith Irizarry, what are you shiggling about today?
So I came across this story that made me think of you, Cody Decker. Made me think of young, as what Michelle calls you, Codifer, right? As young Codifer Decker. I don't know.
She does not call me that. No
I
one's
feel
ever
like
called me that.
I feel like she's called you Codifer before. If not, I'm making it up, and
She calls me Code Y.
Code Y. Well, I'm now throwing out into your lexicon. You are now Codifer. All right.
Please pick a different one.
young Codifer Decker was in school.
I think you'll understand. You'll realize later why we should pick a different one. Okay.
I'm missing this right now, so I'm going to go with Cody. So there was a teacher. She's a 7th grade teacher that was allowing her students to use her phone. So they were on her phone, which, right, you probably shouldn't let kids touch your phone. But all right, so far, nothing bad. It has nothing to do with anything really, really raunchy or anything like that. She was letting them go on her betting apps and place sports bets, and one of them won $125,000. She has been charged with endangerment of child welfare, facilitating gambling to minors, and she is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. I don't know about the endangerment portion. The other ones, yeah, you can't do that. I don't know. That being said, I could have made so many of my teachers so much money if they just asked me some questions.
Yeah. Code Y. We'll stick with that one.
Here's what I'm shiggling about. Have you heard about Hoist the Cone?
No.
So Fanatics has taken over all of the t-shirts and all of the jerseys of Major League Baseball for the last couple of years to, let's just say, a lot of jeers over the last couple of years. They've had their missteps, but they're doing their very best, as from what I'm told. They did, however, before the season start, release some shirts. Specifically, this one is about the Pittsburgh Pirates. They made a shirt for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they all showed up in spring training, and it's had a phrase on it. And the phrase it said was, "Hoist the cone." Here's the problem. No one had a clue what that meant. Truly no one. No one in Pittsburgh, no one on the Pirates, and no one seemingly at Fanatics had a clue what that meant. So you know what? Got to hand it to the Pirates. What did they do? They went out and just grabbed a traffic cone and put it in the bullpen. And when home runs were hit, they just started hoisting the cone over their head for fun. Then they took 2 or 3 games and then came home and swept the series. Guess what's here to stay, my guy?
Hoist the cone, baby.
Jolly Roger, hoist the cone.
So I'm reading on this. Okay, so apparently Fanatics, this was a misprint. It was supposed to say hoist the colors.
But that's not even the phrase. It's raise the Jolly Roger.
I don't know why it was supposed to say hoist the colors, but I'm reading it was supposed to say hoist the colors. And now they, like you said, they've dove in and they're saying hoist the cone. Jake Mangum, Paul Skeens are like the head of it. It's all about team chemistry and staying loose and directing traffic.
Buddy, I kind of like it. And by the way, hoist the colors was a line from the 3rd Pirates of the Caribbean movie. That is not a Pittsburgh Pirates phrase. It is raise the Jolly Roger. But hoist the cone, I got to admit, I love it. I want to hoist the cone now.
Yes, I wish I had a cone in my studio right now that I could hoist for you.
Well, what do you say, me and you, Keith? Let's go ahead and reflect. Reflect. reflections. Keith, what are you reflecting on today, my man?
I don't remember the last time that I hit more free throws in a day than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So I say that to say this. SGA yesterday went 0 for 1 from the free throw line, not a single free throw. Over the last 3 seasons, SGA, when you talk about free throws, let's talk about other people. DeMar DeRozan has taken 1,274. That's a lot. Devin Booker, 1,282. Also a lot. Luka, 1,290. Shea is at 1,708. That is excessive.
That's 500 more than Luka?
Yes, it was the first time that he had not made a free throw since a year ago, April 7th, 2025. So SGA, I'll tell you this. I know people get mad at him for the free throw baiting thing that he does.
Yeah, they do.
It seems like every generation has someone who games the game and figures out how to kind of, play on a rule that's out there. SGA has figured it out until someone figures out how to stop him. Oh, well, that's why he's your MVP. Most valuable. I was going to try to think of another word that starts with P, but I have nothing, so I'll just go player.
Yeah, dude, he just is. I'd say it annoys me too, but it is what it is. It's just the way it goes. And my reflection is simply this. Today, I get to see, for the first time ever, a bucket list concert that I've been dying to see. I'm going to see the boss. I'm going to see the boss at the Forum. I'm seeing Bruce Springsteen today, baby. Today, I get to watch Bruce in person sing Badlands. I get to see Bruce in person. Hopefully sing Atlantic City, my favorite song of all time. I am seeing Bruce goddamn Springsteen today, man, and I can't stress enough. I am so excited. I got to see, I've seen a couple of bucket list concerts over these last 3 years. This is one of the last 2 on my list of concerts I desperately need to see. It's this and it's Metallica. I got to see them before they get too old to rock the way they can currently rock. Bruce in his 70s still can handle all the rocking. My mom saw him 2 nights ago. She said he played a solid 3-hour set, best concert she's ever seen. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band today, man. That's really cool. Wait. I'm really fired up.
That's really cool. I got a buddy of mine that goes to almost every concert he does. Like, he travels. He's a single man. He likes to just go and goes to all of his shows and loves it. Yeah, that's really cool.
So that's all. I'm just really excited.
Born in the USA.
Yep, that is a song that a lot of people did not know the meaning of for way too long. Love that. Absolutely love that. Keith Irizarry, where can people find you in one of your 19 shows and 40 networks that you are just everywhere, my guy?
I'll be at SNY on Monday night. I'm not working this weekend. Got a bunch of basketball for my older son, so I'm going to be on a basketball court for like 3 consecutive days, which will be awesome. I think I have an ESPN shift coming up next week also. I'm not sure if that's before or after we do this with you next Thursday. But yeah, I'm all over the place, having fun.
Well, looking forward to next Thursday. We have another Keith Irizarry Thursday. My favorite to do with my humans to each other, and most importantly, R.I.P. Estelle Getty.